Welcome to Kingdom Discipleship. I today the lecture is about the Babel Tower, and I deal with 3 points. First one, God covenant with Noah and Noah's corruption. Number two, human rebellion and 3 ethnic groups and building of the Babel Tower. And third, God judgment on nations and the separation of Shem for the calling of Abram. This section deal with God grace after flood, but again human being commit sin against God and against their family. So the point one, God gracious covenant with Noah and Noah's corruption. After flood, God blessed Noah and his sons. Chapter 9, verse 1. Then God blessed Noah and his son, saying to them, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. All blessings restored, even though they suffered from the God judgment, but God restored His grace for humankind. But core of the blessing on them is a promise of God in His covenant. Verse 12. And God said, this is a sign of the covenant I'm making between me and you and every living creature with you. A covenant for all generations to come. I have sent my rainbow in the cloud, and it will be sign of covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring cloud over the earth and rainbow appear in the cloud, I'll remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become flooded to destroy all life. Whenever the rainbow appears in the cloud, I will see it. Remember, everlasting covenant between God and all living creature of every kind on the earth. Here, after that, humankind developed according to the 3 sons of Noah. Verse 18, son of Noah who came out of the ark was Shem and Ham and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These are 3 sons of Noah, and from them came the people who were scattered of the whole earth. We know Noah's experience of God's favor and gracious among the flood. But after that, Noah's committed sin. Verse 20. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant the vineyard. When drank some of its wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered inside his tent. Ham, fathers of Canaan, saw his father naked, told his 2 brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took garment and laid across their shoulder. Then they walked in the backward and cover their father's naked body. Their face were turned other way so that they would not see their father naked. One of the most difficult interpretation is related to verse 24, 26. 24. When Noah awoke from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of the slaves will be will he be to his brothers." He also said, "Praise be to the Lord, the God of Shem. May Canaan be the slave of Shem. May God extend Jabez's territory. May Jabez live in the tent of Shem, and may Canaan be slave of Jabez." So many people see this text and very uncomfortable of ethnic discrimination. But most importantly, before interpreting these verses, we remember several observations here. Noah commit sin through drinking wine, and Ham, his son, committed sin because he saw his father naked and told his two brothers outside, and this curse must deliver to Ham, but the Bible said this curse was delivered to Canaan, his son. Why? Ham committed sin, but curse is delivered to his son Canaan. We understand here, God declared that, or we remember that God declared all humankind is cursed, already cursed through their sin. All humans, Shem, Japheth, and Ham, in Adamic original sin already cursed, but Canaan curse becomes stand out. Why? Moses' description focus on the conquer of Canaan by Israelite rather than ethnic curse. The reason the curse be Canaan, the lowest slave, will he be to his brothers. Why? The reason not Ham but Canaan is cursed because curse on Ham is fulfilled in the age of Canaan. We understand this Canaan was dominated by Israelite, and God destroyed Canaan when Moses led the Israelite the promised land. Very delicate explanation, but remember, all humankind already cursed. We are sinner. We are cursed in our sins. But this description is a prophetic description of promised land by Israelite. So that's why the Moses see the future of the Israelite and Canaan their future. That's why this is a explanation can be explained. But we know all curse of humankind is removed in Jesus Christ. Paul declared, Ephesians chapter 2:11. Therefore, remember the formerly you who are Gentile by birth and called uncircumcised by those who call themselves circumcision, which is done in the body by human hand. Remember, at the time you or separate from Christ, excluded from citizenship in Israel, and foreigner to covenant the promise without hope, without God in the world. But now in Christ Jesus, who once far away have been brought near by blood of Christ. History is, like mystery. Only God knows everything about humankind, their story. Just we follow Jesus, we follow God. God finally restore all humankind in Jesus Christ. And point two, human rebellion and the building of the Babel Tower. All kinds develop according to three sons of Noah's. Chapter 10, this is account of Shem, Ham, Yabet, Noah's sons, who themselves had a son after flood. Verse 32, there are clans of Noah's sons according to their lines of descent within their nations. From these nations spread out over the earth after flood. First line is Japhethite, verse 2, verse 4. And Hamite, verse 6, verse 20. And the son of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan, to verse 6. And here's the very interesting the location, the nation, verse 10. First ascent of the kingdom of Babylon. You're familiar with that nation, right? And 11, Assyria. You're familiar with Babylon destroyed the south kingdom, and Assyria destroyed the north kingdom of Israel. So, and Egypt 13 and 15, verse 15, Canaan, father of Sidon, all kind of power to damage Israelite comes from Hamites. Very, what kind of providence here? Our faith, either God's people identity, trained in that kind of environment. Hamorite and fight Israelite, and every day, every moment, Israelite suffered from Hamorite. Why? Because God trained his people in this tough history. And finally, Semite. Here, very importantly, and there is a Semite, the hedge, Aram, Ashu, Arpax, Lud, and Abram. But most importantly, however, what humankind focus on after God's judgment on them. What they do? Yes, they focus on building the Tower of Babel. The chapter 11, verse 1. Now the whole world has one language and common speech, and As people move eastward, they found in plain in Shinar and settled there. Where did they build the Babel Tower? Yes, in Shinar, which is Babylonia. Genesis 10 verse. The first center his kingdom was Babylon. We know Babylonia is a nation that enslaved Israelites for 40, 60, 70 years. And it is, the Babylonia is personalized as a woman. Babylon, prostitute, and the beast in Revelation 18. Therefore, we are never obsessed with geographical names. Babylonia can be interpreted as anti-Christian power, satanic power. This anti-Christian activity is a Satan power work first in Garden of Eden and Cain when he killed his brother Abel, and in the Babylon Tower. This satanic power works today, right now. Maybe this power hinder you from the reading, interpreting, or studying the Bible. And this is a huge scale power in history. Why God's people lost their faith? Yes, because Satan works behind them every day, every moment, even now. What they do, there, verse 3, they said to each other, "Come, let's make a brick and bake them thoroughly." They used the brick instead of a stone, fire for mortars, and tar for mortars. And then they said, "Come, let's build ourselves a city with a tower that reach to heaven, so that we may be named for ourselves. Otherwise, we'll get out of the face of the whole earth." They fight with God's judgment. Through flood, they don't repent their sin. Instead, they build a big tower to reach heaven, which means they want to fight with God. This shows humankind civilization and cultivation, all activity are against God's judgment on them. Point 3. God's judgment on the nation and separation of Shem for calling Abram, which very mystic. Never, human being never know this process. This is a kind of hidden history of God in human history. And how did God judge nations who built Babel Tower and against God's providence? It is through confusing their language, so they will not understand each other. Verse 5. But the Lord came down to see city and tower the people were building. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language, they have begun to this, then nothing we plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other. Now, all humankind, sometimes they're the same place, but they don't understand each other because they want to fight with God, unbelievers. And second, God scattered rebellion nation, and the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. This is why it was called Babel, because their Lord computer language of world, whole world. From their Lord scattered them over face of the whole earth. Scattering. God scattered rebellion nations. Now God scattered rebellion nation now. All world belong to God. If any nation rebel, rebellious to God, someday the nation corrupt, destroyed, and scattered. And third, God separate his people in this process. Regarding why God did that, Genesis chapter 11:10, this is account the same family line. 26, after Terah had lived 70 years, he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. This genealogy shows the history of Shem family from Arphaxad to Terah, the father of Abraham. God protect, God distinguish his people line in chaos. All nations experience chaos, but God intentionally distinguish his people, rescue them for his purpose. That is the story of the world. And finally, this is 27. This is account of Terah's family line. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran became the father of Lot. 28. While his father Terah was still alive, Haran died in Ur of Chaldeans, in the land of his birth. 29. Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. He was the daughter of Haran, father of both Milcah and Issachar. 30, verse 30. Now Sarah was childless because she was not able to conceive. We pay attention to verse 31. Very important, very important. This is related to God's calling of Abraham. We see verse 31. Okay, Terah took his son Abram, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarah, the wife of his son Abram. And together they set out from Ur of Chaldeans to go to Canaan. Okay, that is the calling which related to God's calling of Abraham. Here, who is the subject? Abraham or Terah? Yes, Terah. not Abram. Terah is a subject of this sentence. And who led this family? Yes, not Abram, but Terah. Subject of verse 31 is Terah. This shows God's first calling of Abram is through his father, Terah. Abram was successful to move from the Uru to Haran, but he did not reach Canaan. The Terah lead the whole family, including Abraham. They moved from the Uru to Haran, not Canaan. And then second calling of God for Abraham is after his father Terah was dead in Haran. Verse 32, Terah lived 205 years, and he there in where? Haran, not Uru, not Canaan. Haran is located between Uru and Canaan. Middle place from between the Uru and Canaan. Their journey stopped at Haran. Maybe later you read the chapter 12. Chapter 12 is explained more in detail. Abram, with the help of his father Terah, moved from Uru to Haran, not Canaan. And half point. Or second, God's second calling of Abram is a process after Terah was dead in Haran. Act 7, Stephen mentioned his first calling of Abraham. Act chapter 7, 2, verse 2. To these he replied, brother and fathers, listen to me. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham while he was still in Mesopotamia. Yes, Uru. Before he lived in Haran. Yeah, that is the first calling. And after Terah died, second calling voice heard. That is the chapter 12, 1. Chapter 12. Next time, I deal with this Abraham's second calling, and in next week. And so far, after Noah survived the fraud and judgment, he's saved, but he committed sin through drinking wine. So someone argued that wine is the sin or not. No, that kind of discussion we don't need. We see outcome. You know, because of the Noah, the Ham committed sin, and his grandson is cursed. And we family event involve making history of God. Even though God needs history, but humankind decision and thinking involved in big stream of God in history. So today I want to challenge you. History belongs to God. The Babel Tower tried to fight with God, but God scattered everything. He scattered everything which is against him. Psalm chapter 2. God bless you. See you next time.